Deep in the Brazilian Amazon, along a winding tributary called the Maasai, a small group of people live as their ancestors have for centuries. They build simple palm-thatched shelters on the riverbank. They fish with bow and arrow. And in their language, there are no words for 1, 2, or 3. They call themselves the Pirahã. Fewer than 800 of them remain, scattered in villages across the Brazilian state of Amazonas. For generations, missionaries, traders, and anthropologists have come to their riverbanks, hoping to understand them. Most have left baffled. It is 1977 when a young American linguist named Daniel Everett arrives in the rainforest with his wife and 3 small children. He has come as a missionary, sent by the Summer Institute of Linguistics. His task seems straightforward: to learn the Pirahã language and translate the Bible into it. He will spend the next 3 decades discovering that nothing about the Pirahã is straightforward. Everett soon realizes that Pirahã is unlike any language he has encountered. It has only 8 consonants and 3 vowels, one of the smallest phoneme inventories ever recorded. It can be hummed, whistled, or sung and still carry meaning. And it contains no fixed words for numbers, no terms for colors, and no names for precise quantities. Instead of counting, the Pirahã use only relative terms. One word means roughly a small amount, another means a larger amount. There is no 2, no 5, no 100. The very concept of exact quantity appears absent from their thought. In the 1990s, Everett invites cognitive scientists to test what this means. Researchers from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, led by Peter Gordon and later by Edward Gibson, travel to the Maasai River. They lay out batteries, nuts, and lines of objects on the forest floor. They ask the Pirahã to match them, 1 for 1. The results are astonishing. With small groups of 2 or 3 objects, the Pirahã succeed. But when the quantities rise to 4, 5, 6, their accuracy collapses. They estimate, they approximate. They do not count because counting, it seems, is not a tool their minds reach for. Gordon publishes his findings in the journal Science in 2004. He argues that without words for numbers, the Pirahã cannot perform exact numerical tasks. The paper ignites a fierce debate. Does language shape thought or merely express it? The Pirahã suddenly are at the center of one of the oldest questions in linguistics. But numbers are only the beginning. Everett notices that Pirahã has no creation myths, no stories of distant ancestors, no words for yesterday in any abstract sense. Their speech, he claims, is anchored entirely in immediate experience, what can be seen, heard, or witnessed by someone still living. Everett calls this the immediacy of experience principle. The Pirahã do not speak of what they have not seen. They do not believe what they cannot verify. When Everett tells them about Jesus, they ask if he has met the man. When he answers no, they lose interest in the story entirely. Slowly, the missionary begins to lose his own faith. He has come to convert the Pirahã, but they will not be converted. Their contentment unsettles him. Their refusal to fear death, to worry about the future, to imagine gods, strikes him as a kind of philosophical clarity. By the early 2000s, Everett is no longer a Christian. In 2005, Everett publishes a paper that shakes the field of linguistics to its foundation. He argues that Pirahã lacks recursion, the ability to embed phrases within phrases. For decades, the linguist Noam Chomsky has claimed recursion is the universal foundation of all human language. Everett insists that the Pirahã prove him wrong. The controversy is immediate and ferocious. Chomsky's followers accuse Everett of misreading the data. They send their own researchers to the Maasai. Linguists pore over recordings, transcripts, and decades of fieldwork. The question of what the Pirahã can or cannot say becomes a battleground for the nature of the human mind. Yet beyond the academic war, the Pirahã themselves remain largely indifferent. They fish. They laugh easily, often and loudly. They sleep in short bursts through the night, rarely for more than 2 hours at a time. Visitors describe them as among the happiest people they have ever met. They reject outside goods. They refuse to farm, though Brazilian traders have offered them seeds and tools for generations. They will accept a machete or a cooking pot, but not a way of life. When missionaries try to teach them to read, they grow bored within minutes and walk away. Anthropologists have come to call this cultural conservatism. The Pirahã have been in contact with Portuguese speakers since the 18th century. Yet they have absorbed almost nothing: no religion, no agriculture, no numeric system. They have looked at the modern world for 300 years and quietly declined the invitation. Some scholars see this as evidence of a profound philosophical position. Others see it as fragile isolation, vulnerable to collapse. The Brazilian government now protects their territory, but loggers, miners, and ranchers press ever closer. The forest along the Maasai grows thinner each year. Today, perhaps 700 Pirahã remain. Their children grow up still speaking the language Everett spent his life studying. They still count nothing, name no colors precisely, and tell no stories of gods. Whether this is a loss or a kind of freedom depends entirely on who is asked. The Pirahã have forced the modern world to ask uncomfortable questions. Is counting a human universal or merely a useful invention? Does happiness require less, not more? Can a people live well without history, without numbers, without gods? Their answer, given quietly along a river in the Amazon, appears to be yes. And so they remain on the banks of the Maasai, fishing in shallow water, laughing in the dusk. They have no word for one and no need of it. They speak only of what they have seen. And in a world drowning in abstraction, that may be the most radical philosophy of all.